influenced by the behaviorists, such as the most important psychologist was Skinner, and he only focused about the behavior and the learned response through the reinforcement. So thus behaviorists, they propose that personality is influenced by some learning, and learning occurs through the patterns of reinforcement. So according to Skinner's operant theory, that is, personality is influenced by the reinforcing consequences of the individual's behavior. So in the operant conditioning, mainly there was an experiment of the behavioral aspect, that means the responses, the stimuli and the response, and what are the causes or changes in the environment. So these changes have reinforcing consequences on future response of the individual with regard to the particular stimulus. Now this operant behavior, it is also known as the instrumental behavior. Why? Because an animal press a key and in the palate, after pressing the key, a piece of meat came to the palate, and so this is an instrumental behavior. Why? Because by pressing the key, the animal is getting a piece of meat. So this is known as instrumental behavior. Now it is voluntary, because later on, by practicing, by pressing the key, the salivation starts. So this is a voluntary, that means the salivation starts automatically by pressing the key. So the reinforcement in operant behavior is associated with the response, not the stimulus. Why? Because the response, what is the stimulus and what is the response here? Now according to Skinner, our behavior is shaped by the reinforcement. But the reinforcement may be positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement according to Skinner. Now what is the reinforcement? The piece of meat is the reinforcement. Okay. Now a reinforcer is a stimulus that increases the strength of a particular response or a behavior when given after the occurrence of that response. Now as I told you that the reinforcement may be positive or negative. Why? Because the positive reinforcement is when you add something pleasant or desirable. For example, when you get a prize after winning a race, so that prize is the positive reinforcement. Then what is the negative reinforcement then? Now negative reinforcement is when you take away or remove something unpleasant or undesirable. That means if somebody X agreed to his mother that he would give the garbage to the person who comes to collect it thrice a week. Now he can get to play games on the mobile. So the restrictions on playing mobile games removed. So that is a negative reinforcement. So when you will write, there are some short questions like what is positive reinforcement or how many type of reinforcements are there in the Skinner's behavioral theory, behavioral and cognitive theories. Then you have to mention some examples. Okay, suitable examples for the positive reinforcement as well as the negative reinforcement. Now, Skinner's reinforcement schedule is based on some intermittent reinforcement. Now, what is this intermittent reinforcement? It is actually when the experiment was done by Skinner with a rat. So, he did not get the reinforcement every time it pressed the bar in the rat cage. Now, that rat cage is also known as the Skinner's box. So, it is called the intermittent reinforcement. Now, whereas continuous reinforcement refers to getting the reinforcement every time the response is displayed. Now, there are 4 types of this intermittent reinforcement. What are they? Number 1, the fixed ratio. Number 2, the fixed interval, the variable ratio, and the variable interval schedule. Now, ratio from the term, it means or it refers to the number. That means the number of what? The number of responses. And interval refers to time period. That means by some time limit. Okay, so thus fixed ratio, it involves giving the reinforcement after a fixed number of responses. Say for example after 2 responses, or for example after 4th responses. Okay. Now, fixed interval indicates that the reinforcement is given after a fixed time period. Say for example after 2 minutes or after 3 minutes. So, in variable and variable interval, the number of responses and the time period after which the reinforcement is given does not stay constant. So, it changes. So, these are the intermittent 4 types of intermittent reinforcements. Okay. Now, later on, this social learning theory was again explained by Bandura in some different way. He said, or the main point of the Bandura's theory is the observation and imitation. Observation and imitation, these are the 2 main aspects in the social situation that affects our behavior in the learning principles. So these were the 2 main things, that is the observation and the imitation according to Bandura. Now, Bandura, there is an important book by Bandura, that is the Social Learning and the Personality Development, Bandura and Walters in 1963, where he tried to focus on these 2 aspects, that is the observation and the imitation. Now, this Bandura's social cognitive theory is described in the PBE, that is the person, behavior and environment. That means the person who is learning, the behavior of that person, and the environment where the person exists. So these are the 3 important aspects or factors. Now, the personality is framed according to the behavior and the environment. And the person factors, it related to the person, for example his own belief, his cognitive aspects or cognitive factors, etc. So these are the 3 main points of this Bandura's social learning theories. Now, after Bandura, other psychologists have explained or tried to explain personality in some different ways or in terms of some particular cognitive factors. Rotter, R-O-T-T-E-R, Rotter, in 1954 he proposed the concept of locus of control. That is, what is locus of control? In my next slide, just see. Yes, so Rotter tried to explain personality in terms of the locus of control. Now, this locus of control may be of external locus of control and internal locus of control. Now, what is this locus of control? Now, it refers to the assumption held by people whether they have some controlling factor in a particular situation. That means we are able to control ourselves, to control our emotions or other feelings in each and every situations. Okay, so this is the locus of control. Now, when they assume that their responses and actions are directly influence the consequences, they have control over it, and that is the internal locus of control. That means that person is controlling, or that person possesses a power, an internal power to control. So that is the internal locus of control. While just the opposite of it is the external locus of control, which assumes that the control is outside the individual and lies in other individuals or maybe the environment or any type of situation he exists. So these are the two main locus of control mentioned in Rotter's theory. Now this Rotter further said that this internal and the external locus of control, they depends on the person's expectancies, the values, and the person ascribes to particular reinforcer. See, again this reinforcer comes, this word. Now thus, if you expect that study will lead to good grades and you value getting good grades, you will devote more time and hard work for study, indicating an internal locus of control. That means you want to do good result. There must be some internal expectation within your heart or your brain. Now you want to do good performance, then obviously these are the very important aspects to do a good result in an examination. Now further, these cognitive theories, it also emphasizes the personal own beliefs, his efficiency, his interpretations, how he or she is looking the environment or the particular situation, and how he or she behaves. That is the personality of the individual. Now, this cognitive affective personality was again described by Walter Mischel and Schoda in 1995, where the two important aspects of this theory was the cognitive and affective influences. That means cognitive means the emotion, the memory, the anything that is related with the cognitive part and the affective, that is the which influences a behavior, a particular affective part, that means how we behave in a situation, and they state that our behavior and consequently our personality is affected by four important things. According to Walter, Mischel and Schoda, they said that perception of the situation, number one, number two, affective responses or emotional responses to the situation, that means what type of emotion is accepted in a particular situation, that is the affective part. Then comes the skills of the person, how to deal with the situation, and lastly the anticipation of the outcome of their behavior. So number one, the perception of the situation, number two, the affective or the emotional responses to the situation, number three, the skills of the persons, how to deal with the situation, particular situation, and lastly number four, the anticipation of the outcome of their behavior. So these were the some of the important theories of behavioral and the cognitive theory by number one Skinner, number two Bandura, number three Rotter, and number four Walter, Mischel and Schoda. Now, of which the Skinner's theory is very, very important, and sometimes this Bandura's theory also you may get some questions like maybe 6 marks. So explain the Bandura's social learning theory, then try to draw this diagram which is there in your page 21 in your study material. So try to explain this diagram by giving this diagram, and also when you will get a question from psychodynamic theories, always try to draw this figure of Freud's theory of id-ego and superego. And after this theory, the next theory, that is the humanistic theory by Maslow. It is also known as Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is a very important theory from the motivation, that is another important aspects of individual difference. Now this is the humanistic approaches to describe the personality. Now these are the deterministic view of personality, and personality as being determined by the influences of the unconscious and the reinforcement pattern. Now both of which are not under the individual's control, but in this humanistic approach or this humanistic theory, it believes that the human beings are basically good. That means, see, in the psychodynamic theory, always Sigmund Freud, he said that there must be some fixation, some unresolved desires in the childhood or in the psychosexual stages like anal, oral, phallic, genital, etc. But according to humanistic theory, it was said that basically all the human beings are good. That means it is a positive theory. So they aim at the greater self-understanding and strive for self-actualization. Now why it is known as the hierarchy of needs? Because Maslow said that the topmost or the highest motive is the self-actualization, and it starts from the very basic biological needs. Now, what are our basic biological needs? They are food, first of all breathing, oxygen, need of oxygen, food, water, shelter, sleep. Then sex, excretion, homeostasis, etc. So these are the basic physiological need which should be fulfilled. Now just above this need is the safety and security need. Now safety and security need, that means the safety means the bodily, we need a family, we need a positive health and employment, then property, then resources. So these are the safety and security need which are just above the physiological need. Now once these physiological needs are fulfilled, then we look this safety and security need, and then it should be fulfilled. Now after fulfilling this safety and security need, we then move to the next higher need, that is the love and belonging need. That means love from, say for example, friendship, family, then sexual intimacy, etc. So these are the love and belonging needs. And after fulfilling this love and belonging needs, we then move to the higher needs, that is the esteem needs. Now esteem means first of all the self-esteem, the confidence to do anything, the achievement of any person, respect to the elders, etc. and respect by others also. So these are the esteem needs that each and every individual always wants to fulfill, these esteem needs which are just above the love and belonging need. And the last and the topmost need is the self-actualization. Now what is this self-actualization? It includes the morality, the spontaneity, creativity, say for example an artist, problem solving any situation, maybe some scientist, or accepting the facts of our living. That means the saints, say for example Buddha, Guru Nanak, Mahavira. So these are the topmost self-actualization need by Maslow. So these are the basic needs that a person always desires, that I told you. Now the first 4 levels are called the deficiency or deprivation needs, that is the capital D needs. Now if these needs are not met, then obviously what happens? There will be a deficiency or deprivation is created, and the individual is motivated to meet these needs. Then the last level of need is called the being needs. Being, B-E-I-N-G, being needs or capital B needs. Being for B. Okay. Now this operates on the growth motivation. And in contrast, what happened? The deficit motivation for the D needs, that is the deficiency or deprivation needs that you all know, capital D needs. Now Maslow uses the term homeostasis in the physiological need. Now homeostasis, it is the principle by which bodily system operates. The balancing, that means when we are tired we go to sleep, when we are hungry we are taking some food, when we want to we want an employment, we try to find out some work to do. So these are the homeostasis. These helps the homeostasis. Like a thermostat, it switches the heat on when it is too cold and switches it off when it is too hot. That means you can put ice cubes also in the thermostat, as well as you can put some hot water also, as you need, according to your need. So when the individual lacks something, she or he wants it and she gets it. Then what happens? The needs are fulfilled. Then the next higher needs, he goes to the next, fulfilling the next higher needs. Now when you have experienced the neglect or abuse in childhood, your need for love, care, security may continue unless otherwise fulfilled, and it may characterize your behavior and personality. So what happened in the psychodynamic theory? Freud said that a person faces any psychological or mental problem if there is any problem issue in the childhood or in the unconscious mind of the psychosexual development. But in humanistic theory, Maslow said that if these needs are not fulfilled properly from the very early period of time, then obviously there must be some problems. So these basic needs should be fulfilled, and after fulfilling that basic needs, we always go to the higher level of needs. So this is the common characteristics of human being. Now humanistic theories focus on the individual and their growth and development, enhancement of the potential, well-being and quality of life of the individual. So this is a very, very important line, that humanistic theories, it focus on the individual and their growth development. Number 2, enhancement of the potential. That means if an artist, say for example an artist, he can paint very nice from his very early childhood, but the basic needs of that person should be first fulfilled. After that, after fulfilling those needs, according to the humanistic theory, he will be able to create something, and that part is actually included in the self-actualization need. Now, these humanistic theories have drawn the attention from some negative side of the human behavior. That means mental illness to the positive side of the human behavior, focusing on the possibilities of some better life. That means positive side of human behavior, That means if we fulfill the needs, then we will be satisfied and we will just move to the higher need, fulfilling the higher need. So this is the process, and this process goes on one by one. And this inherent goodness and optimal mental health. So the positive psychology, which is a dominant field now within psychology, can be traced back because it starts actually from these humanistic theories, and it has emerged in a big way in the last 2 decades when Martin Seligman, he declared in the American Psychological Association, that is the APA, in 1998. So this positive psychology actually came into existence from these humanistic theories. Now this, so what are the main features of this Maslow's hierarchy of need? Now Maslow has significantly contributed to the field by focusing on the person's need and fulfilling that need. That's all. That is the main aim of our life. So however, his theory has been also criticized by various psychologists later on, and they said that no, this is not only the factor, there are some other aspects also, and thus these needs can be seen as overlapping in nature. So further, Maslow in later years added another dimension, that is the transcendence or transcendence, going beyond the self-actualization. That means above the self-actualization. So it was revised theory by Maslow in 1996 and later on by Kolkata and Rivera in 2006. So it relates to altruism and spirituality in the quest of reaching the infinite. So as you all know that self-actualization, as it was criticized by various psychologists, it was not the only higher needs that should be fulfilled. So above that need there was also transcendence need, and this transcendence refers to the very highest and the most inclusive or holistic levels of human consciousness. See, again this word consciousness comes from the psychodynamic theory, and behaving and relating. Why relating? Because relating consciousness and unconsciousness as ends rather than means to oneself, to significant others, to human beings in general, and also to other species, to nature and to the cosmos. So what happens in case of any animal? They also try to fulfill the basic need, that is, when they are hungry they always look for any prey or any type of food. So this was the extension of this Maslow's hierarchy of need. After this, Carl Roger was another humanistic theorist, and he emphasizes the need for providing the unconditional love to the children by the parents, and it is a very important need by Carl Roger. So he emphasizes that the need for providing the unconditional love to the children by the parents always frame the positive personality of that person. Now the child, when accepted without any conditions, will develop into a fully functioning person and develop a healthy personality. That means the proper guidance of the person when that child needs anything. That need may be the basic need, maybe the safety need, etc. The love need, the affection need, but the parents should always guide and provide the needs that the child wants. So, the two famous books on Rogers are On Becoming a Person in 1961 and Person to Person in 1967. These are very important for very short questions. So, these are the two important books. Now the theory focuses on the person and their subjective understanding of their self. So these are the basic things. That means Carl Rogers wants to say that the person and their subjective understanding of their own self. It is very important. Now what is unconditional positive regard? The genuineness, that means the parents should genuinely love, that is the unconditional love to the children. And empathy are three hallmarks of the person-centered therapy development by Rogers. So what are they? Number one, the unconditional positive regard, the genuineness of support or care or warmth or affection, and empathy are three hallmarks of the person-centered therapy by Carl Rogers. Now also termed as the self theory. Why self? Because these are all related to the person himself. And also termed as self because it focuses on the person's inner feelings, inner experiences, value, beliefs, faith, empathy, everything. So this theory is also known as self theory. Now the self or the self concept is the central tenet of this Rogers theory. So he defines the term self as the organized, consistent, conceptual gesture composed of perceptions of the characteristics of the I or me, that is the self, and the perception of the relationship, that is I or me, in interaction with various aspects of life, maybe the situation, maybe some other person, and together with the values of or attached to those perceptions. So that is the concept of self, that is I or me, the perception or the relationship of I or me, and how I am interacting with the life, various aspects of life, and how I am perceiving it, what are the perceptions of it. Thus, the self develops through interaction with others, and consequent social evaluations influence the development of the self concept to a great extent. Now Rogers said that this personality in terms of real self and ideal self. What is real self? What is ideal self? Real self means actually what I am. That means actually what type of person you are. The empathy, the positiveness, everything possesses by you. That is you, the actual or the real self. And what is the ideal self then? The ideal self refers to who you would like to be ideally. That means it reflects the society's expectations. Yes, I want to be a good psychologist, or I want to be a good wife, or I want to be a good student. So that is the ideal self. So it reflects the society's expectations and demands of what you should be. So these are the two important types of self described in this Carl Rogers theory, that is the real self and the ideal self. So the congruence between these two would make for a healthy personality. That means we always want to be like the ideal self. So we changes our feelings, our needs according to the ideal self. So according to this theory, he said that the congruence between these two selves would make a person healthy, or he possesses an unhealthy personality. So, however, since perfect congruence may not be possible, the relative degree of congruence is important. That means we always try to be an ideal self. So as for example, as a boy, if you have developed the self-concept that boys do not cry, so they are more powerful, they are emotionally more strong. So you will face difficulty in situations where you may feel like crying. So for example, in the event of death of your, say for example, your near ones. So what happened? In that case, it is not true. So if there is greater discrepancy between ourselves and our experiences, it leads to maladjustment, obviously, and eventually may even lead to some personality disorganization. And there are some severe mental illness or personality disorders in later life. So this humanistic theories, it always emphasizes on the individual as a whole. How I am, me, self. It takes into account the integrated personal experience, understanding of the individual in the whole or in the totality, aiming at realizing the full potential and functioning as a whole. That means I always want to be, or I always try to be like the ideal self. That then I will change my desires. Why? Because the real self and the ideal self that you all know, the congruence between these two selves are always present according to this Carl Rogers theory. And it focuses on the development of the self and the congruence of the self with the situation, with the experiences we are gathering. And we thus we are adjusting the situation, and healthy personality develops. So this was the main idea of this Carl Rogers theory. So it is 11:51. If you have any question, you can ask me now. The next class I will start with the trait theories of personality and 5-factor theory, as well as the Indian perspective on self and personality. Yes, any question you can ask me. Hello? So these are the basic, very important theories of personality.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, when there is a question in exam about the Carl Rogers theory, can I explain it in my way? Means I can study the whole thing and then write it in my way?
Yes, why not?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Why not?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So you can study Carl Rogers theory from another book, that is the S.K. Mangal, or you can study these theories of personality from Munn, M-U-N-N, or you can study these personality theories from other books like Barron, okay, and there are some other books like King and Morgan that I told you, that is the basic textbook of this personality and the individual differences as well. So you can take the help from these books, or you can study the whole theory and you can write it on your own as you wish. Yes, any other question? Yes, please tell me.
Ma'am, can you explain the portion of locus?
Sorry, what is locus?
Locus, yes, ma'am.
Okay, the locus of control that I told you by Rotter 1954. Okay, so it refers that how we are dealing the situation, what are the internal locus of control. That means how we are controlling our emotions in a particular situation. So that is the internal locus of control, as well as there are some external locus of control. That means the control in outside. That is the individual and lies in other, say for example, when we are interacting with other individual, or in a particular different situation. So in that case, what are our external locus of control? So these were the two important aspects described by Rotter. Actually, these are the expectancies for the reinforcement again, or the values. Yes, any other question on this?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, actually, can we have this PowerPoint presentation to your mail or WhatsApp, please?
Yes, why not? If you want, I can send it to you.
Okay, ma'am, that will be of
Okay, definitely. Yes, any other queries? Any other queries? Yes.
Can we read from guidebook? Like, can we follow the guidebooks for this theories?
Yes, why not? You can study from any book you like.
Okay, and ma'am, we can answer the questions in my own way, right?
Yes, why not?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You are always getting the freedom to write on your own.
Okay, ma'am.
But please don't change the idea of the theories. Okay, so the ideas should be similar.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm. Yes, any question?
Does this locus of control have any meaning, like any definition of locus of control?
Yes, it is given in your study material. Have you seen? See, it is page number 21. The last two lines after Bandura's reciprocal determinism. See? Have you seen? Do you have your study material 103 with you?
Yes, ma'am.
So you just note it down. It is given in page number 21, the chapter Personality and Individual Difference. Just after the Bandura's reciprocal determinism, what is the locus of control? Have you seen? Yes. Any other question?
Hi ma'am, myself Saurabh here. I have one question. Actually, I just wanted to know if this class is happening frequently because I receive mail not in a frequent manner. It's after a long time one class is happening. So is there anything that class is happening weekly basis or 15 days basis?
Actually, these are all organized by the office. Okay.
Okay.
Then you have to talk with the office regarding this. If you want this class regularly, then you have to inform it.
No, it's not about my one. I just wanted to know if this is happening regularly. It's from my miss or it is not happening regularly. My question is that only.
Actually, it is fixed on Thursday. So today is Thursday, and the timing is 11 to 12, right? So this
Yeah,
is the
that is
fixed.
fine. My question is it happening on every week? Am I missing the email or
Yes, it is happening on every week. Yes.
every week Thursday, right? Okay, I think then I am missing the email. That's what my question
This
was.
class is also, you can find it in the YouTube channel. Okay. So
Okay,
this is-
YouTube. Okay, fine. Thank you.
in the
And is-
IGNOU Arts
Maybe
Kolkata.
that, okay, is there any possibility that the offline class will start?
That is, I don't know, maybe. So you have to ask it regarding this timing and date.
No, basically, online class is very good, but the thing is, in online class, our regular education mode is getting break. I think.
Yes, I know that, but actually the situation is like that. So we
Yes,
can't
I can
help
understand.
anything.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So one thing I will tell you that you can expect a theory, any one theory from this chapter. This chapter is very important from the day one, I am telling you. So any one theory, you start preparing any one theory, say for example, you will get some options also. So say for example the psychodynamic theories, or you may get some question like which theory according to you is an important theory of personality, or which theory explains an individual in a positive aspect. Then what or which theory you will write? The humanistic theory. So you start preparing any one theory from this hello.
Ma'am, can you please provide
Yes.
this PPT in our WhatsApp group?
Yes, I am just telling to the office regarding this. I will surely present this PPT. Don't worry. And also I will try to present the previous PPTs that I have shared. Okay. So please go through this chapter. This is a very important chapter. Yes, Meeta, I will definitely try to. Yes, Adi, do you have any queries? Shwaru?
Ma'am, actually, I am yet to receive any material. So I don't have any material. So could you please suggest me any reference book that I can get all this?
Why? You go to the office and you will get, definitely you will get the study materials.
Ma'am, actually,
You or listen to me. Or you can do this. You just do you have the IGNOU app with you? You just download this app.
Okay, ma'am.
Then you will get all the study materials. It is given.
Okay, ma'am.
You just go click to the BPCH psychology.
Okay, ma'am.
Then you will get everything. And I think you have a WhatsApp group also.
No, I am not included in the WhatsApp group.
So you tell your friends, other friends, so that they can help you.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
you just yes, Bornali, are you there? Or yes. So please add everyone so that they can take the help. Or you can
Ma'am,
talk.
actually, I can't be able to send the link here. So actually, someone else called Srija, she only made the group and she has the link. So I don't have the link right now. So if she can share, that will be much
I'm
better.
providing my number. You guys just text me, okay? I will be sending the link to everyone and then join the link. Join the group.
Okay. Thank you, Srija. Thank you.
ma'am,
It
it's
will
fine.
help. Okay. So yes, Sharup, do you have any question?
Srija, can you just share your number? We can note it down so we can text you.
Yes. I did share. See.
You just
Okay.
speak here and I write it down.
Okay, it's 933
Okay.
94 69
Okay.
130.
Hello.
So 933-946-9130, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Everyone do text me. I will be sending you the link and everyone join.
Okay,
Thank you.
Shudeshna.
Hello.
Shudeshna, do you have any question?
Ma'am,
Shudeshna.
am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
ম্যাম অ্যাকচুয়ালি অ্যাসাইনমেন্টের জন্য বলছিলাম।
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I'm also not added to the WhatsApp group. So can you share my number?
Yes, you can.
Hello?
Yes, Srija. Once.
Hello.
Yes, Srija. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. This is actually.
Guys, Srija has shared her number, so you guys can note it down and each and everyone can separately text her to add. If you want the number once again, you can note it down.
Okay.
The number
So
is
please-
933-9.
Please do it fast, as it is
Actually, I'm not getting the option.
12 past 4.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, in our tentative get sheet of exam, there is provided that all subjects are of all subjects have 100 marks exam, but last year exam have been 50 marks. We are confused. 100 marks exam or 50 marks exam?
Actually, all of these questions you will get in the office. You go to the information center and in the BAPCH Bhavan, 4th floor. So there you asked about all these. There is a very disturbance. Yes, Akshita. Hello. Hello.
Sorry, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
So
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
yes, you are audible.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, I have provided my number, ma'am.
Okay. You please contact with Srija. She will help you. She will
Actually,
help you.
Srija, you can just send the link here only. That will be better, I guess.
No, not everyone is able to join in that way.
I did that
Okay.
last time, so few people were having problem. That's why I'm sending my number.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay.
Sir,